Look, the most part that I probably didn't enjoy is the training. There's so many hard training days that I would go through that was just like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. And questioning myself, I'm like, this is so hard. Like, what am I doing? Like, why am I here?
But you push through.
But you push through. And then when it comes to fight time, you've had a little bit of ease off in that training and that hard training. And then the fight is basically the fun part. Yes. It's the most enjoyable part because you're like, I get to put all this 10, 12 weeks, months of work that I've put into showcasing in front of these people what I can do with it.
Jeff Horn, welcome.
Thank you.
I am so excited about this for many reasons. One, everybody in the world, and specifically Australia, know your kind of path and your career from your young age to you were a teacher before and then a champion. And but biggest thing to me, which I'm actually getting goosebumps seriously now thinking about it, is mindset of professional athlete, boxer, specifically boxer, is unbelievable. Yeah. And I always say, in real life, your mind is your best friend and your biggest enemy. 100%. And quite often, I always say that you can walk into boxing ring, and I actually use this analogy all the time. You can walk into boxing ring, and if you think you're gonna lose, don't even step onto the boxing ring.
You've lost before you even get in if you think that.
You're gone. So another thing is, I can walk into my boxing ring. My boxing is, my meeting room. I can walk in, within 2 seconds, I can just walk out. First of all, nobody's watching, it's just me and person that I'm doing business meeting with. You stepped in to fight Manny Pacquiao, 50,000 people. Now you're a proud man. You cannot run away. But if you stay there, if you don't have that right mindset, he's going to knock you out. Yes. And he's going to hurt a little bit more than me walking out of my business meeting.
I've got another way to look at this. My fight maybe only impacted me and a few other people to do with what if I won the fight. Yes. In a business deal, what happens to you if you fail, yours could impact 50,000 other people's lives if it goes wrong.
Very true. Very true. But physically, mine can hurt less than yours because you are involved in a physical sport. And any professional boxer that you ever fought, when somebody hits you hard, it does hurt. Yes. So you can be on the floor, and we have seen it all over, for the last 100 years when it comes to the boxing. It's a physical sport, so you got to stand your ground.
Yes, and you've got to be, I guess, conditioned in different areas. You can't be conditioned in your head because your head can't be used to getting hit, as some people think. It's your body can be conditioned a little bit from getting hit in it, but look, it's tough to try and defend your whole torso and head with just two arms.
And one thing I always say, when you walk into that ring, nothing else matters. You cannot afford to be distracted for a second. Because in life, two of us talking now, we can get distracted, we can turn the cameras on, we can turn them off, we can rest. But when you step on that ring, how do you keep your momentum? How do you stay focused? Because I always use boxing ring. I always say that your boxing ring could be 1 hour every 6 months when you are competing on professional level. I feel like my boxing ring is every single day, because I'm in my battle every single day. I employ hundreds of people. If I fail, they all have husbands, wives, kids. I'm responsible for them. So my field is every day I have to be focused, but I can afford to be distracted for a minute. You cannot. How do you stay focused?
Look, I guess that's a gift I was given as well, is to be calm. Normally, I feel like I'm a pretty calm, chilled person most of the time. I don't stress about the little stuff. But look, there's definitely a switch that gets switched when I jump through the ropes. Before I can be completely nice, but then when I get in there, I've got one job, and my one job is to take out the person across the ring or beat them at least in a fight. And I basically switch into a robot mode, and that's all my focus is. I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm not thinking about my family, not thinking about anything except the strategy of what I've got to do to beat this person.
And to also potentially last, how many rounds you can last as well, because when you walk in there, it's not just you have 3 minutes. You might take freaking 30 minutes as well.
Look, a fight's only 36 minutes in actual fight time where you're punching each other. But it's the hours and hours and weeks and months of preparation that you have to be ready for that 36 minutes. And it's a lot of time that you have to get ready to be at your peak physical condition to be ready for a 12-round boxing fight.
Yes, and I've stepped into boxing ring once with a friend of mine, and I always thought, it's when you watch boxing on TV, 30 minutes it's easy. I don't think I lasted 1 minute. I just had no strength because I realized how unfit I am. Even my mind wants to keep going. I want to bloody give it a go. But
that's why we have so many issues these days as well with violence and things. Everyone thinks that they're stronger than what they are physically, and you got people that go, I can beat this person, or they go out and they one-shot someone, and they don't realize that sometimes the power they've got with just one shot, especially when someone doesn't look, and I don't know, there's definitely a learning curve when you jump in the ring the first time, because it is way, way harder than you can imagine.
Yes. What does it take to become a champion?
Look, I think a lot of hard work, that's one. You need to put in the hours, you need to put in the effort. That's just give and take for any successful thing in any business or sport. But also you've got to have belief in yourself. And I guess I got that from my mentors, and I started to believe that myself, and I had that burning desire inside myself and that belief inside myself that I knew I could do something big in the sport. And so that belief is another thing that you need to have to succeed.
I always say that any individual, if they don't have that burning fire within them to do whatever they want to do extremely well, it's almost no point even doing it as well. Because it doesn't matter what you decide to do, it's not going to be easy. I mean, you didn't become champion overnight, so it was a lot of hard work, persistence, and talk of self-belief. What does never give up mean to you? Because in your journey, it's easy to say never give up.
Yeah, I guess.
Specifically when you're in the middle of the ring, middle of the boxing match, in the big one in front of 50,000 people, you can give up in a heartbeat.
Look, I guess never giving up to me means everything. It means my dreams of, like normally in boxing, what they would say to you is if you lose, basically, it puts you years back in trying to climb back up to where you need to be. So I started very late, so I didn't have the time to do it, to make a mistake and to lose. So I needed to win. And that's what made, I guess.
So even with the big fight that you had, I mean, that's probably the biggest fight in the history of Australia when it comes to 50,000 people watching it. I always say a lot of people, they crack under pressure. Mm-hmm. So psychologically, for your match, which is equivalent to everybody's life every single day, because your 36 minutes that day is somebody else's 36 minutes every day, And the pressure you had before you were walking into the match, and that journey, which is everybody's life journey, how did you deal with the pressure going towards the day?
Yeah, look, I guess I was kind of trained in this a bit, I guess, leading in. I had little tastes of it through following in the footsteps of Joseph Parker. Yeah. We were all in the same stable, and he was getting the world title and stuff, and I was hearing him interview, and so he was kind of a little bit of a mentor for me, watching him and being alongside of him towards my fight, and so that would definitely help me.
Yes. So it's important to get yourself surrounded with the right people that can kind of shape you on the journey.
100%. Yeah, you need the right people around you, and not one person can do it as well. You need people. You need the right people around you to help. Because
and not having right people, just like, if you're 16 years old and 17 years old, specifically, anybody that's 16 and 17 years old, they have a choice to make. Do they make a decision to go and work honest way, potentially get a career or whatever they want to do? Or the second option is become part of a youth gang and choose the road which is not going to get them to any good.
Yeah.
So even at that young age, it's so crucial who do you surround yourself with for you to shape your life.
Definitely. And the grass is always greener when someone can say in the youth gang part, or the person who goes to the university try and work, this person could be saying, oh, this is really hard work, like I'm poured with books and things like that. And the other one could be saying, oh, it's so easy, I'm making this so much money, I'm stealing this, I got $10,000 from here, oh, it's such easy money, you should come do this. This is very hard for a 17-year-old or 18-year-old to go, oh, well, I really need this, and it sounds like I could easily do that type of thing. So that's probably why these kids are getting drawn into it.
Yes. And obviously, end of the day, when we were all 16 and 17 years old, we didn't think then the way we think today as well. And I don't think people are realizing that mistakes that can make at such a young age can shape their life in a wrong direction for really the rest of their lives as well. Not that it's not too late for them to change and get better. I always say that we only have one life. I mean, we just discussed your age before. You're male, so I can say you're 35.
Yep.
Every time if I'm interviewing a lady, I have to be careful what I say. So at age 35, I mean, yesterday you were 25.
I feel 25 today.
But time goes.
It does.
Time goes. And I always say today is the day that you never lived before. So we gotta always do our best to shape our day with love and laughter and positive energy. Doesn't matter what shit we're going to be dealing with every single day, because once this day is gone, we are one day closer to our ultimate destination. What advice would you give to anybody that is 20 or 18? Who's got a whole journey in front of them. Mm-hmm. And journey of one life.
Yeah. Look, I guess if you're at that age right now and you're going, what do I want to do? What do I want to do in life? Like what they're thinking is probably, how am I going to afford to get a house? How am I going to live the rest of my life? How am I going to afford to pay rent? Or whatever it is. They're not the things you should be stressing about. It should be, you need to be happy doing whatever it is. Every day, we're only here for a certain amount of time, which isn't a very long time, really.
No, that's what I'm saying. Technically, both of us are pretty much almost half dead.
Yes.
Because I'm 43.
Yeah.
If I get to live to 86, which there's no guaranteed, I mean, the bullet that's going to kill both of us has already been fired. We don't know when, it's going to be our end, I guess.
Yes.
But let's say I get to live till 86, or you get to live till 70. So we are almost at that.
Why am I at 70? You're at 86.
Well, true. And double your age. But the thing is, as fast as 35 years passed, another 35 will pass as well. So I always say, giving people right advice and then following it through is a big deal as well.
Yeah. So it's doing what makes you happy. So doing a job that you know that you want to do, not that you have to do. Sometimes people have to do a certain job to then train into the job that they want to do, which is fine, which is just a part of life. Exactly. And that's the price that some people have to pay, is to get there. It's always hard work to get to where you need to go, but it's just enjoying every single day. And appreciating being on this earth and having other humans to live with and to enjoy.
The thing is, I think that, if I'm guessing right, the highlight of your boxing career was that big match with 50,000 people. Am I correct?
Yeah, definitely.
So, but, what was important for you as well to enjoy entire journey of training up to that moment.
Yes.
Because, it took you very long time to get to that point where you can actually fight somebody like Manny. But if you did enjoy that journey, that 30 seconds goes really fast. But so many days and months and years of training, you still got to enjoy that hard journey as well.
Definitely. I versed a lot of tough guys, a lot of competition. I was not meant to beat leading into the Manny Pacquiao fight. And the Randall Baileys, the Ahmed El Masuis, the names just keep going. I could name at least probably 12 names there that I fought, the guys I probably wasn't expected to actually beat. Yes. But Manny Pacquiao was just another one of those guys that I wasn't meant to beat. Yes. But I had the belief from day one that I went into this journey of boxing is to go, I want to be a world champion. And the only way to get there is to shoot for the stars. Yes. And that's exactly what I did. I aimed for the top straight away. I didn't go, if I get here, I'll be happy. Was never going to be happy. I wanted to hit the top.
So question for you, before that match, did you think you can beat him?
Yes.
100%?
100%. I knew I was bigger than Manny Pacquiao. I knew I was stronger than Manny Pacquiao. And I knew I probably wanted it more than Manny Pacquiao. So I knew I had three things at least.
So in your mind, I'm going there not just for the show, I'm going there to win.
Exactly.
And there was no other option?
Nope. There was no other option but to win that fight. And it was all or nothing. I basically, in my mind, was putting my life basically on the line to get that victory.
Because if you didn't win, like you said, for you to get a shot again on that level might take you again years. So it's not like, okay, next day we're fighting.
Yeah, I've never had another shot like that against the Manny Pacquiao, filling out a stadium of 50,000 people. Yeah. I've had stadium fights, sure, with a lot of people, but he was a different class of fighter. He was the next level. He was the top of the world. Yes. I wasn't going to get that probably crack again against a guy like him ever, because there's no other guy like that.
There was no other guy even today, which is interesting. A lot of boxers that you fight are actually nice guys. Mm-hmm. So, there's a probably good chance you had a great conversation with Manny after the fight as well, where you guys were nice to each other.
Look, I've always looked up to Manny Pacquiao and thought he was, I still think he's not a bad guy, but I didn't really have anything much to do with him after the fight, unfortunately. I think he has too many people he surrounds him with now that draw him and bring him to where they think he should go. So I think I didn't really have too much to do with Manny Pacquiao after that fight, unfortunately.
Yes. Well, the reason why I'm saying, because even, if I'm, in my mind, there are good people in every sport, because you're a good guy, it doesn't mean the guy that you're fighting is a bad person as well. Yes. So for that 36 minutes, obviously you're there to get a job done, and he's the same. So even if he's a nice guy or not, you're there to win. Exactly. Full stop. But which is interesting, because that built up towards that 36 minutes. If it goes that fast, for somebody that could be really nice, it's interesting.
Yeah, 100%. And I guess in a way, this what makes money in the sport. Boxing can be a highly paid sport in different times, and one person that brings to mind when you say that is Mundine. Yeah. He knows people are going to want to watch him because they want to see him knocked out.
Yes.
They want to see Mundine get knocked out because he's loud, because he has different opinions to people.
Yes.
And
which makes it entertaining as well.
It does.
Because it creates a drama. And look, unfortunately, us humans are bloody attracted to the drama and oh my God, they hate each other. And same with Conor McGregor. Yeah. Conor McGregor, I think he's a fantastic fighter. I love watching him. But also he'll create so much drama before the match that half of the people want him to get knocked down.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly why these guys are very successful, and that's why Mundine was successful in what he did. And he even said to me before the fight, he was a nice guy to me when the cameras were off. He said, I'm going to say some things that you're not going to like when the cameras are on. So
after that, we go for lunch.
Yeah.
So, but life today, looking back, you had some, I have watched a lot of your fights. You won some, you lose some. Just like life. Mm-hmm. Every fight in front of us on a daily basis, we don't win everything. We go with best intentions to do well with whatever we're doing. Sometimes we get knocked down. Mm-hmm. I got knocked down about 15 years ago in business, where I worked so hard from age 16 to age 30, and then I got knocked back down. And it's not easy to get back up.
Yeah.
In any life, there's a people that have personal family issues. There are people that are losing businesses or they're losing job. What mindset do you have to have as a professional athlete to get back up? Look, because it's not easy.
Yeah, look, it is that. It's
specifically
definitely not
you were
easy.
In a spotlight.
Yes. And I think that never give up attitude, like I said from the start, I wanted to hit the top. I believed in myself. I believed in my coach. He got that belief inside me, and I grasped onto it. And I was like, okay. And yes, there are times in fights where you get knocked down. Yes. Like in life, you get knocked down and things happen to you, but you know that there's a chance to get back up and to continue on, and then potentially to even win that fight. Yes. You may not win it sometimes, and then you might fall, and then you go through a little bit of a stage of depression, but then you get out of it straight away. You can think about it, you can dwell on it, but the best part is to get back on the horse and to keep fighting and to keep moving on. And
there's always light at the end of the tunnel, you know, and I think sometimes when we do fail or make mistake, the problem is we beat ourselves up so much. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like a freak. It's end of the world. Yes. You know, it's end of the world. And also in boxing, you know, it's not really, you know, people might judge you by all the times that you won, but the way I see it was like, you know, what about when he was actually getting up? Because when you lose a big match, you're gonna get back up again and mentally keep going as well.
Yeah. Look, it's an admiration for the fighters that lose fight after fight. You know, I've heard stories of some guys that I know. I was pretty lucky in I was able to win a fair few big fights, but then I was to lose them, and then I could have just quit because I was like, oh, I wasn't that good. Okay, I thought I was good at boxing. I'll just quit now. But I decided to keep on pushing through, and I learnt from those defeats, and that made me better and better. You have guys that have constant defeat after defeat after defeat.
And they still keep going.
And they still keep going. Why? Because they're learning, they know they're getting better, they're getting better and better each time.
But also the mindset must be freaking incredible for them to keep getting up and keep going again and again and again and again. Because yes. You are, you know, in a tough sport, because we discussed this before. When you step into that ring, there's a good chance you're going to get hurt. Mm-hmm. Because if I'm having a game of soccer, worst thing can happen to me after 90 minutes, I'm tired. Yeah. I go home, have shower, and I'm in bed. Yes. You know, worst thing can happen to you, you can be kissing the floor.
Yeah. You're nearly guaranteed when you step through the ropes that you're going to be hurt in some way or another. Like, you're getting punched at. We try and switch off that the pain is there, but you have bruises the next day, whether it's from a head clash or from someone punching you in the face or in the body. There's nearly certain that you're going to get hurt when you step through the ropes against someone that's throwing leather at you.
Not a normal leather either, it's punching hard. People say it's very important for us to enjoy what we do. Stepping into that ring, 36 minutes, mm-hmm. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, look.
Because it's not like you're playing chess.
Yeah. Look, the most part that I probably didn't enjoy is the training. There's so many hard training days that I would go through that was just like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. And questioning myself, I'm like, this is so hard. Like, what am I doing? Like, why am I here?
But you push through.
But you push through. And then when it comes to fight time, you've had a little bit of ease off in that training and that hard training, and then the fight is basically the fun part. It's the most enjoyable part because you're like, I get to put all this 10, 12 weeks, months of work that I've put into showcasing in front of these people what I can do with it.
Yes, which is obviously, because as much as the training is painful as well, but in a way, that's like real life as well, because if you want to be good at anything that you want to do, your training is working hard every day, becoming better and better and better. So one day you can, get the fruits of that labor out as well. I think that the mistake that a lot of people make is they only focus on, I can't wait till I'm world champion. I can't wait till I'm financially successful, but what they forget
is how do they get there? How do they get to the financial thing? What they can do? You have people working and doing the same thing every day. Why not add something else into your day? Some people say, how? I don't have time. But there's always time to do something. Yes. Like there's always something you could do to add in there to you could have a second income coming in in a certain way to then get you ahead in life in some way or another.
Would you recommend for anybody young in their teens for them to take boxing on?
Look,
not as a self-defense, but I always say that any professional sport, it gives you discipline. Mm-hmm. But would you say that boxing also gives you more confidence as well?
Yeah, definitely. I think it is a sport that it does grow confidence in people because they know that not everyone does boxing. Yes. And they don't know what they know. Like I can confidently step in the ring with someone that's not a boxer and go, I can easily be in this ring with this person and not be afraid that I'm going to get extremely hurt. Like I can be pretty confident that I'm going to outmaneuver them and outbox them in there.
But saying that interesting thing that you said, I used to be, probably still am, a good chess player. Mm-hmm. And I always say that I always enjoyed more playing chess with really good players.
Yes.
Because they challenge me. They get me to think more and they're making me better. Mm-hmm. Same thing with even boxing, I guess, as well. If you jump into the ring with me, it won't be really fun to you or challenging or, what do you can't learn much.
It depends on what you call fun.
Yeah. But yeah, it could be fun kicking somebody's ass. But, better the competitor is, I think you probably enjoy it more as well.
Yes. Well, that's the whole reason why you're doing it is you're climbing a ladder to try and become the best out there at doing that. So you want to challenge yourself. You need to keep fighting guys that are pretty good out there to become the best.
A lot of people think that the overnight success. A lot of young guys, doesn't matter if they're professional athletes or if they are just starting their business career, whatever it is, they all think that, overnight I want to have it all. If I don't, I give up.
Yeah.
Obviously, what do you think of that?
Look,
the attitude of the generation today.
Yeah, I think it's laziness. I think we create it. Other people create it for them as well because we're making it easier for the next generation. Technology is making it easier for the next generation. I think there needs to be that mindset shift in people now, like that are already a little bit older, to then pass that on for that hard work to say, this is what you need to do. I can't help you do everything. Yes. I need to give you challenges in life to make you appreciate what hard work is and to push through those.
Because life is not easy.
It's not.
It's not easy.
There's sometimes really hard times and some people go through it harder than others. But when you push through those hard times, you have so much more self-respect for yourself that you're able to do that.
I always say that it's very important on our journey for us to keep our feet on ground. You became champion. You're still champion in my eyes. And with your title, you also get so much pressure as well.
Yeah.
You're a spotlight. Did that change you?
No, I don't think anything can really change. And I guess that's a mindset in myself to go, why? Why would I need to change? If I got given $100 million tomorrow from the success that I got from something, Why would I need to change my
It's not
attitude?
going to make you a better person.
It's not.
It's not going to make you a better human.
No, definitely not. So I guess that's why I've never changed. Is it doesn't matter to me what fruits you get from what you're doing. You still always treat other people the way you would like to be treated, and that's how I live my life. And normally, when you do that, success will come in different ways for you.
I always say what's very important for us as humans to understand that everybody is equal. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean that if you're better at what you do, you're a better person than me. I'm better than somebody else in what I specialize in, but we all need to be judged by how good humans we are, and that doesn't change. If you win $100 million lotto, or if you get paid $100 million for whatever you're doing as well. It's important to keep your feet on ground as well, and not run away from the reality.
Because not everyone is good at everything too. We've got to understand that we've got strengths in different areas, and that's sometimes it's teamwork that makes the strongest teams out there.
How do we discover our talent? Because you obviously clearly were talented, and you took advantage of your freaking talent.
Yeah.
But so many of us, we are talented at freaking something. I mean, look, I can never, be professional soccer player because I know I got 2 left feet and I don't have that big desire to do so either. But how do we discover the talent? Because a lot of people, specifically young ones, they're freaking lost.
Yes.
I don't know. I get messages on daily basis on social media. Emil, I want to be successful. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Look, that's I wish that was an answer that was an easy one I could just say and give to everyone. But it's just discovering it for themselves. Because sometimes not even that person knows what they want to do or what they're good at.
No, I definitely didn't know when I was, 18 years old either.
Yeah, so I guess it's trying new things, getting out of your comfort zone sometimes. Sometimes, like with speaking and things like that, I can remember being absolutely terrified of speaking in front of people. Absolutely terrified of doing it. Like I would almost need to have alcohol, I feel like, to speak in front of people. That's how nervous I was. I remember at school I was so nervous to speak in front of a classroom. And now I can do it quite comfortably and quite easily. I never thought ever I would be able to do that. So
and I was the same as well, because I think that fear is stopping us to be the best version of ourselves in anything we decide to do.
Yes.
And a lot of times, it's just holding us back. I always say, just get rid of that fear and just go and scream, and you'll be a lot happier as well.
Yeah. So that's what we should be telling people.
Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. It's scary. It's scary jumping out of your comfort zone and trying to do something that you may be good at, but you don't know because you're too scared to do it or too scared to put in the biggest effort that you could.
But if you don't do it, how do you find?
You're stuck in a rotation of not being maybe the happiest self that you could be.
I always say the fear is always stopping us from us to be really the best version of ourselves. I mean, mentally, when you are stepping into any boxing game, fear can be a good thing because keeps you, when you can break through that ice of, what, I'm going to give it a go. Then you remove that fear. But at the same time, having a little bit of fear keeps you on your toes. It's not a bad thing, because when you are, jumping in your case into boxing ring, if you're just too cocky and too confident, you might get slapped in the face as well. But that bit of fear is holding you on your freaking toes for you to really be more cautious, I guess.
Yeah, and that is very true, that the confidence part, if you're overconfident, it is extremely bad in boxing in particular, because all the times I've been too confident against my opponent, Michael Zarafa was one of them. I thought, he was a stepping stone to a bigger fight that I was going, and it was just a practice to be ready for that type of weight division. I knew he was good. I knew he was up there in that division, but I saw myself better than what I was, especially jumping up. So I learned that lesson
fast.
Yeah, very fast against someone that was very difficult to fight.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, against him, even against Tim Zhu, I thought I'm going to bulldoze this guy. Like I thought he hasn't fought anyone like me before, and I was going to be able to come at him with strong punches, and he wasn't going to be able to handle it. But I burnt myself out, tired myself out, and put too much on my punches, and he took care of me very easily in the 9th round.
But
or
see,
8th round.
that really shows you to be the best at anything, everything matters.
Yes.
You know, because I always say, I know what I know, but I also know what I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And being confident, very crucial in anything that we do. Being focused, never giving up, all that is great. But if you think you're at this level and then you're overconfident or cocky in a way as well, and you can't back it up, you're really up for a surprise as well. So I think it's good to keep that feet on your ground as well. You know, it doesn't matter who you're fighting. Yes, I'm confident, I'm good, and I know I'm gonna win. But at the same time, that little bit of fear is kind of maybe getting in a better direction.
It's necessary. It scares people that they're scared of something, so they don't want to do it. But it's necessary for success. Why would we do it if, why would we try and achieve something? Why does not everyone become a champion in something? Because some people are too scared just to even try to do it. It's stepping out of that comfort zone and just going, oh, I can do it. I can give it a crack. And that's something I did in my career. Is I wasn't meant to be someone that was meant to be good at the sport. I wasn't meant to be someone that was meant to be an absolute legend of the sport. But I did, because I believed in myself.
In front of 50,000 people. I mean, that moment, no offense to you, but not many people could believe that you could win, you know, when you were fighting, because, you know, you had a name, but many was dangerous name in a sport. And so, question, besides yourself, putting you on the side, who is your favorite boxer of all time?
Oh, that's a tough question. Look, to be honest,
I want to see if we're on the same page.
yeah. To be honest, I've never been like a boxing fanatic. Growing up, even, never been completely indulged in it and obsessed with it in that way. But Manny Pacquiao was definitely someone I looked up to in the boxing world.
Isn't that crazy that you actually got to fight him?
Exactly.
That's just unbelievable.
Yeah, he was the best. The way he treated people, the way he acted for the camera, the way he came from nothing, definitely inspired me. To
he was never a trash talker.
No.
He was a kind of gentleman. Even going to, you know, I've watched everything before this interview as well. Even before the interview, he was not really being mean, or he was not trash talking. Like, you know, you got you know, like Mike Tyson, even Muhammad Ali, you know, old-fashioned guys. They were still talking a lot. You know, and Conor McGregor, you know, in UFC as well.
We need that though. We need that still in the sport.
Yes.
Like it's a thing.
So you don't think that's a bad thing?
I think it's necessary to have those characters and entertainment in the industry as well. But not everyone needs to be that person.
Correct.
I guess.
Not everybody can be that person, because there's no need to be so.
I had the pressure to be that person. I was like, they were like, well, who are you going to be? And what are you going to basically stand for? And I was like, I put it on Facebook on what people think my fight name should be. And it ended up me choosing the Hornet.
Yes,
I was like, well, yeah, I plan on hitting people. And when I hit them, I want it to sting, which is what a Hornet does. And it doesn't die after one shot like a bee would. A Hornet can keep stinging over and over and over and over again. So I guess, yeah, it's being that person that you want to be, and choosing that style and that person that.
But also, everything that we choose to do, we also have to be prepared to pay the price.
Yes.
Because with yourself, you're always lovable fighter, you know what I mean? And people like potentially Conor McGregor or even Tyson, I guess, you know, it's kind of divided. Half people love them, half people hate them. And with certain personalities that they are, it comes with price to pay as well, because you create a lot of negativity and a lot of enemies and a lot of hate around you as well. I don't think the way you have handled yourself, I don't think you were getting that.
Yeah, I think that's the price that they pay though. They know that people are going to pay then more to see them lose than more than to see them win.
Yes.
So the price that they've paid to be absolutely monsters in wealth that those guys probably are is because they know the price that they pay is not everyone's going to like me. Not that everyone likes me either, but a lot more people I don't think like Conor McGregor and a Floyd Mayweather even out there, because they choose to go.
Even Floyd Mayweather, he was still, he was always aggressive and he was talking as well.
Yeah, but they don't care. They know it's show business and
it's also business, not just sport as well. So
exactly.
It's understandable. In my mind, maybe because as the age that I was growing up, I always say Mike Tyson in his prime, he was dangerous. And that's when he was 18, 19 and 20 years old. Do you see boxing as getting more popular as a sport as we are getting, older or not?
As we're getting older,
yes.
Do I see it getting more popular? Look, I think there's always, I think in Australia right now, boxing is definitely more popular than it was 100%. A few years ago.
But I also think you changed a lot of that as well.
Yes, I think I definitely had an impact in that back in the time, because what I brought to the table was not every boxer needed to be that loudmouth and put people down and talk loud. So I guess there can be, and other people have seen that and gone, well, I can just then be myself, or I can be like this and box at the same time as well. And it creates a bigger audience in the boxing world for all types of people to then want to watch it.
What's next for you?
Look, my goal at the moment is to, I'm very focused on the program that we run in schools with Bullyproof Australia, and that's to try and get that in every single school that we can. I think every kid should have access to the confidence building and have that taught to them, because I don't think we have that taught properly as a young age, and I never got it. So
and that's the age that really that can shape people's entire future.
100%, and that shapes what champions we could get, because if we don't discover and get rid of this negativity when they're younger, they're too scared to come out and try stuff. So we need to fix that with giving the kids the confidence and how to talk to people and that communication to then strive in life and push forward. So getting this program in every schools that we can is definitely the next goal.
Which is interesting. You started from nothing in your field, which is boxing. You went to the top, and then your next journey is, let's give back.
Yes.
And I think that makes you true champion, not just of boxing.
Yeah.
Because that shows your character and yourself as a human, and that is beautiful to see.
Thank you. It's all about changing lives, and I guess I've got that world title. I've got that stature of being able to help now, and I can now then pass that on to the other people struggling out there, going through tough times.
And there's a lot of them out there.
There are a lot of people, and more I feel like.
And if we can change, I always say, if we can change, I actually quite often speak on my social media about this. I always say that when my day is finished, I always reflect and ask myself, did I make somebody's day better? Or was I selfish? Was I just thinking about myself? If I was selfish for whatever reason, well, I had to think, what am I going to do tomorrow to make somebody's days better? That could be talking to them, that could be making them laugh, that could be telling them something nice, whatever it is. I think we all can do our little part to make people's lives better. The job that you have taken on is a massive challenge, but hey, if you can become a world champion in boxing, nothing can stop you achieving what you're trying to achieve now, specifically with the young generation as well.
Yes.
Because I think that, young kids, you know, anywhere from age specifically 10 to 16, which is a very dangerous age, that is a very crucial time where with doing small things for them or big things for them like you're doing can change shape of their life.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah, it's the information that we didn't have growing up, just simple little things of how to treat people, how to talk to people, how to interact with other humans, is little things that will help us and guide us to where we need to be in life. And I think it's important for every child to experience that. And
I think it's important for any. I mean, I grew up in the middle of the war for 4 years. I had no food, electricity, school, or anything. And one thing that I've learned throughout my life, that it's all possible. You know, there's nothing that is not possible. But you know, we can all do our part to make people see that.
Yes.
It's been freaking pleasure. One day I'm going to train with you in a boxing ring.
Thanks.
Pleasure. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you.